So guys, it's been a little bit over a month now since I showed you guys my new open world dynamic game mode for ARMA 3 called Direct Action, and in that time the support has been absolutely insane. But so much has changed just in the last few months. We've actually added so many new features, and most importantly, we've ported the mode over to Tanoa. So guys, this is BillyEatWorld again, and let's find out. Alright guys, how you going? Welcome to the video, and like I said, so much has happened in just the last month since that first video came out. Firstly, more than 10,000 of you guys have actually downloaded Direct Action on Steam, and you've literally blown up my Discord server as well, so thank you so much for that. But like I said, we've been working hard on a lot of new features, and we've been working on bringing the mode over to new maps as well. And well, like I said, as of today, you can also now play Direct Action on Tanoa. You can check out the download link in the description down below. But just before we get into that though, if you did miss the last video, you're probably wondering what the hell Direct Action is anyway. And well, in a nutshell, it's kind of like ARMA 3 meets Far Cry. It uses just about all of the assets in the game, it seamlessly integrates with mods, and most importantly, it's got dynamically spawning objectives. Now, it's also designed so that you can play it on your own, or you can play it in co-op with up to 12 players, and there's a really good mix of infantry, armored, and air combat. But honestly, that's just scratching the surface. If you do want to find out more, I'd really recommend you either check out the original video, I'll leave a link to that down below, or just download the mission and try it for yourself. It's free, there's no strings attached, and honestly, that's the best way to figure out what it's all about. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's move on to Tanoa, which obviously I don't have to tell most of you guys is one of the most impressive maps ARMA 3 has to offer. But just say you haven't checked it out before, well, pretty much all you need to know is that it's a lush tropical chain of islands surrounding a massive volcano. Now, not just that, but it's also part of the ARMA 3 Apex DLC, which is probably the most popular content pack and the one that adds the most value for money. So obviously that's why it was the logical next step for Direct Action. Firstly, it's a totally different gameplay experience, and most importantly, a lot of people actually own the map. Now, if you've already played Altus Direct Action, well, you are going to see a lot of similarities in how the game mode itself works, but mostly you're going to see differences in the types of objectives that are available on Tanoa. For example, Tanoa doesn't have a lot of military bases, so instead, you're going to be fighting over locations like industrial facilities and airfields. Not just that, but the dense jungle of Tanoa changes the way a lot of Direct Action's features work. For example, you've got to be really careful when you're paradropping stuff now. It'll probably fall in the jungle, and then you'll lose whatever you're trying to drop. And obviously, armored vehicles aren't really going to be as effective in this kind of terrain either, so you'll be relying a lot more on things like helicopters and support from the air. Now, that actually brings me to one of the main new features I want to tell you guys about, which is an overhaul to the fire support system. You might remember when Direct Action came out, the team leader and the JTAC roles had the ability to call in mortars, while the JTAC now actually has a couple more call-ins as well. You can now call in a cruise missile strike and a CAS gun run, which obviously are a lot more powerful, but they're also balanced out by much longer cooldown times. And not just that, but fire support is now also tied into the progression system. So as you complete missions, well, you'll get access to those more powerful abilities. Also, another special ability I mentioned in the last video was the team leader's ability to call in paradrop reinforcements. But unfortunately, that was broken at launch. And while I'm happy to say it's now been fixed, and as you can see, every 10 minutes you can request a reinforcements drop that will top up your squad with AI squad members. Now, not just that, but I've also been trying to think of ways to make the other classes feel more unique as well. And so as you can see, the medic has a new ability to drop a med box, which obviously is, of course, a bit of a nod to Battlefield games. I'm hoping maybe we can add in some kind of ammo box style ability, kind of like Battlefield, later on down the track as well. Now, a lot of the other major changes that I've made in the last month or so have actually been from things that you guys have actually suggested. So if you are a fan of Direct Action or you just want to know more, please check out the Discord links in the description and let me know what features you want to see added. Now, one of the main things that you guys were asking for was the ability to change factions at the start of the mission, But what I think a lot of people didn't realize is that direct action doesn't really work like that. It's not a mission that just uses one or two factions, it actually uses all of them. There's dozens of friendly camps located all around the map, and you can access pretty much any other faction's gear and vehicles once you've discovered them. So the challenge wasn't to make factions switchable, it was to make that content easier to access from the main base. And one of the ways we've done that is to add vehicles to a pool of unlocked vehicle types once you've activated them for the first time. And then you can select that vehicle at any other vehicle of the same kind. For example, if you've unlocked, say, a Strider, well, that'll allow you to spawn Striders anywhere that you can spawn, say, for example, a Hunter, which is the same type, but in the NATO faction. Not just that, but we've also added in an action to every arsenal crate that allows you to quickly switch into the default faction-based loadout for that faction camp that you're at. So when you unlock, say, a CTRG outpost, you don't have to manually go through and change all of your gear over to their uniforms. You can just hit the action and it'll automatically kit you out with their default loadout. Now, not just that, but another thing I really wanted to do was reduce the need to ever abort the mission, because not only is that not going to work on local servers, it'll reset the mission, but also joining is when the vast majority of bugs can happen. So another big system we've added is the ability to select your role in-game, which is why now you've only got the rifleman role to select from at the role select screen. To switch roles in-game, all you've got to do is go up to the arsenal crates and then use the role select menu, and it'll give you a default loadout automatically and all of that role's specific abilities. And just like it was before, the new system is still set up so that each role can only be selected by a limited number of players. So you won't end up with situations, for example, like a full server full of pilots. And finally, the last major things you guys really wanted to see added was the ability to save your progress, which honestly isn't something I'd ever intended for this mode, because like I mentioned in the last video, this mode is heavily inspired by modes like Quicksilver's Invade and Annex. It's designed to be an arcadey multiplayer mode that you play from the start every time. But a lot of you guys saw it differently. You guys saw it as an open world campaign. So what I've done to cater for that is I've added in support for offline single player. And as well as being able to save your progress in single player, you'll also notice in this mode a lot of the role-based restrictions are disabled as well to give you that full sandbox experience. But anyway, that's just about all of the new features. But just before we do finish up, the question is then, where are we going next with direct action? And well, look, there's some things I can't tell you about yet, but one thing I do want to give you guys a quick look at today is our support for Operation Trebuchet. Now, I don't want to give too much away, but what I can say is that we've been working on this for quite a while now, and it's just about ready to launch. So please, if you are interested, keep an eye out for that in the near future. It's been a real challenge to get it up and running, but it's been worth it, and I'm sure you guys are really going to enjoy it. And finally, also I should mention, really our focus now has transitioned from building the mode itself and onto adding support for new mods and new maps. And if you have a look on the Steam Workshop description, you'll see that we've now added in support for a bunch of other mods this month as well, including Cup, and we're always adding more. And here's where you guys can help out. If you guys have got a mod or a map that you'd like to see supported in direct action, please let us know. And please, if you find any bugs or issues when you're running your favorite mods in this mode, let us know that as well. It's really, really important, and it's support from you guys like that that really helps us to keep everything running smoothly. But anyway, guys, that just about wraps up this quick video. Thanks as always for watching, and please, if you want to see any more of these videos, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And also leave a comment and let me know what you think, or just hit me up on my socials using the links down in the description. And as always, until next time, see you later and have a good one.